Alright, time to do my homework. Question 1. 30 plus 12. 42. Time for question 2. 2 plus 2. Oh, hi everyone. I was just doing my homework. Here with Walter. Do you like doing maths? Well, if you don't, maybe we can learn together. There's something else we're also going to learn about today. The Bible! Come on, let's start the show. Welcome back everyone to the Link Show. I'm so glad that you're all here with me. It is going to be an amazing day. Walter, can you go get the mail? Thank you. While Walter's going to get the mail, I want to know what your favorite subject is. Tell me. Well, that's really cool. And my favorite subject is art and English. Walter's back. Well, since he's back, he got the mail as well. Let's check out today's craft. It looks like a treasure chest. And there's a Bible verse at the bottom too. Matthew 13:45 to 46. That's really cool. I'm so excited to color this in later. But right now, let's check out today's mystery item. Whoa, it looks like some pearls. And it's a necklace. Walter, do you know what this is for? You don't? It's okay. Well, make sure everyone you have your listening ears on, because we can find out later. But right now, let's go check out Preach Part 1. Let's go.
Hey Link, Buckle here, and I love treasure hunts. Treasure hunts are one of my favorite things to do. I remember when I was young and I was still living at home with my mum and dad because I was a kid. I was little Buckle. My mum put on a treasure hunt. And so me and all my friends got together because it was my birthday party and we got the first clue. And so we had to open the clue and it said something like, your next clue can be found where you can jump and touch the sky. And we're like, what does that mean? Where can you jump and touch the sky? What does that mean? And then I remembered, we have a trampoline. Maybe the next clue is at the trampoline because that's where you can jump really high. So we all ran to the trampoline as quickly as we could. And we were looking around and sure enough, in the grass under the trampoline was the next clue. So we opened up that next clue and it said something like, the next clue is where there are lots of beans. I'm like, beans? Do you mean like baked beans? Like in the cupboard? And I was like, where would that be? And then my friend said, wait, doesn't your mum have a garden where you grow food? And sure enough, we ran over to the garden and we looked around the edge where the beans were and there was the next clue. And so we did clue after clue after clue, running around our house, running around the yard until eventually we came to the end where we got the treasure, and the best treasure ever when you're a kid, lollies! Lots and lots of lollies. And so we all shared the lollies and it was amazing. But I remember when we found that treasure, it felt so special because it was valuable. It was worth something to us. And so we all got our lollies and we all sat there and we were telling stories about, do you remember when we found that clue at the trampoline? And then my friend, he figured out one of the other clues. So I'm like, do you remember when you figured out the clue to get us to the treasure? And then we're eating the lollies and we've got like the lollies that look like teeth. And so we're pushing them in our mouth and so our teeth are sticking out like this because there's the lolly teeth. It was amazing. But did you know the Bible tells us that the greatest treasure of all is actually God's love for us. And so, although we have lots of different treasures here on earth, maybe you've got pirate's treasure, with coins, or maybe you've got things that are your treasures, like maybe you have a favorite toy, and that is your favorite toy, and you treasure that toy. It is worth everything to you. Did you know that we can treasure God's love and God's kingdom the same way, and it should be the most important treasure? So we're going to take a look at a story in the Bible where Jesus taught everyone with him exactly this, that God's love is the greatest treasure of all, but we'll talk about that in just a minute.
That was a great Preach Part 1 from Buckle. But look at today's craft. I've already colored it in, so I'm going to tell you how to do it. How it works is that you're going to fold it in half, then cut along the sides, so then when you pop it up, it's a 3D treasure chest. I think that's pretty cool. And look, there's a Bible verse down the bottom. That's really cool. But do you know what else is really cool? Your crafts. So if you want us to see your crafts, get a teacher, parent, or a guardian to take a photo of your work and send it in to us, because I know that all of you are so creative. How about right now, let's see some of your crafts. Let's go. Those were some amazing crafts. You all are so talented, just like I said before. Walter, I forgot what happens next. What's next? The animated Bible story. And there's one more thing. Yep, I'll tell them. He says that we all should keep our listening ears on so we can find out what the mystery item is for. So let's go look at today's animated Bible story.
Say hello to Jesus, the Son of God, the Savior of the world. And while Jesus was here on earth, he would travel from place to place, teaching people about God's love and performing miracles like healing the sick. Sometimes Jesus would tell stories called parables. They weren't always very long, but they had really important meanings. And one day, Jesus was helping people understand about God's kingdom, and so he told a story about a man who was searching for pearls. The man searched and searched, but then eventually he found one pearl that was so valuable that he just had to have it. It was more precious than anything he had ever seen before. He knew he needed to have that pearl. So the man went away and sold everything he had to raise enough money to be able to buy that one valuable pearl. And at last, that pearl was his. Jesus told this story to help us understand that the kingdom of heaven, God's love, is more precious than anything else that we have. God's kingdom is worth giving up everything else so that we can belong to God. I love this story so much because this man sees the pearl and he says, that's the most valuable thing I've ever seen. I want to have that thing. I want it because it's worth lots. And so he sells his other things. He puts the pearl first above everything else. He gets rid of all of his other stuff just so he can have that pearl because it's worth so much. To him, it is special. And did you know the reason Jesus told that story is because we should treat God's love the same way. That I can be friends with all of my other friends, and that's awesome having friends here, but they shouldn't be more important than my friendship with God. We should always obey our parents, and we should always obey our teachers. And we can listen to people that tell us to exercise and be healthy and eat good food, but you know who we should listen to the most? God. Because the Bible says that when we live God's way and when we put God's kingdom first, that is when our lives are the best. And so just like in that story, the man had the pearl and it was worth everything to him. He treasured it. He loved it. We should put God's love first in our lives, that we should love God above everything else. The Bible actually says that wherever your treasure is, whatever you value, that's where your heart will be as well. And you might be thinking, well, how can I treasure God? That sounds weird. Well, I'm going to give you some really easy ways that we can treasure God. Number one, we can treasure God with our time. We can spend time reading our Bible and we can spend time praying. We can treasure God with our talents, with what we're good at. We learnt the other week the parable of the talents. So if you're good at doing dance or art or singing or music or sport, you can use your talents to serve God and put God first. And with your treasure, you can use the things you have to be kind and to be generous, just like God asked us to. And so this is our big point today. It's what I want you to remember, that the most valuable treasure is God's love. I want us all to say it in a moment. So we're going to say the most valuable treasure is God's love. Ready? We're going to say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The most valuable treasure is God's love. We'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. The most valuable treasure is God's love.
That's why the mystery item Buckle sent us were these pearls. It was the story of Jesus telling the parable of the pearl of great price. The merchant gave up everything to have that treasure of that one special pearl. Just like we should know, God's kingdom is the best treasure. Did you guess the Bible story correctly? Well, if you did, good job. I can't wait for next week because we're going to get a new mystery item and then we get to figure it out again. That's really cool. Do you know what else I think is really cool? The Bible quiz. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you think the first answer is correct, hands on your head. And if you think the second answer is correct, hands on your shoulders. Alright, question number 1. Hope you had your listening ears on. What was the man in the story looking for? Was he trying to find a giant pearl or a big pumpkin? You've got 5 seconds. The answer was that he was looking for a big pearl. If you got that one right, good job. Time for question number 2. What did the man do when he found the special pearl? Did he hide it in the sand, or did he sell everything that he had to buy it? You've got 5 seconds. He sold everything. That one was hands on shoulders. Alright, time for question number 3, last one. What does the pearl in the story remind us of? Was it that God's kingdom is the most valuable thing of all? Or to find pretty jewelry to wear? You've got 5 seconds. Did you have your hands on your head? Well, if you did, you're correct. Good job. Walter, how did you go? You got 1 out of 3. That's okay. Make sure you have your listening ears on next time. If you got 3 out of 3, give yourself a pat on the back, but only with 2 fairy fingers. Hey Walter, can you help me finish my homework? It's really hard. You can? Thank you so much. And thank you all of you for joining me and Walter today. I think we both had the best time. And I hope you learned more about Jesus. I'll see you soon. Me and Walter will be back next week. Well, I'm Isla, and I'll see you next time on The Link Show. Bye.